When was the last time you did something? Just because you wanted to? Not because someone said it looked good. Not because it was trending. Not because someone else approved of it. Just because you felt like it. Leloo found an old photo. It wasn't even a particularly special photo. Just a normal picture. One of those photos that sits somewhere in your gallery for years, and you completely forget it even exists. But when Leloo saw it, they stared at it for a long time, because Leloo in that photo looked so comfortable. Their hair was whatever it was. Their clothes were whatever they felt like wearing. And that smile wasn't even thinking about whether they looked good. Then Leloo opened the gallery and looked at the newer photos, and something felt strange. The newer the photos got, the less Leloo looked like themselves. I saw one of the photos and thought, why are they standing like that? Then I laughed, because that was me. But now, whenever I want to take a picture, the first thing I ask is, does this look good? Does my face look weird? Does this outfit look stupid? If I post this, what are people going to say? And at some point I realized, even before anyone else could judge me, I had already started doing it myself. And it wasn't just photos. Leloo stopped wearing clothes they actually liked. Before sharing an opinion, they'd immediately look around and wonder what everyone else thought. They liked a song. Before saying it out loud, they'd think maybe people would make fun of them for it. They wanted something. Sometimes they wouldn't even ask, because they had already imagined everyone else's reaction in their head. Little by little, Leloo's life became full of things they liked, but never did, words they wanted to say, but never said, and choices they made simply because they were thinking, what will everyone else think? One day, even while shopping for clothes, I picked something up. I really loved it. Then I thought, no, that's too me. I stood there for a few seconds. Then I thought, to me? What kind of sentence is that? Was I really supposed to need someone else's approval just to wear something? That was when Leloo started paying attention to themselves. Not to fix themselves, just to figure out how many of their choices were actually their own. And for the first time, they realized there were things they had been avoiding for years. Not because they didn't like them, but because they were afraid. Afraid of looking ridiculous. Afraid of being too weird. Afraid other people wouldn't like them. One day I wore that outfit, the exact one I always said, no, that's too me. I went outside. Nothing happened. Nobody stopped and stared at me. Nobody came up to me and said, that's a terrible outfit. Nothing. It was just me, an outfit I really liked. And then I realized it was never really about clothes. A lot of the time, we think self-esteem means loving ourselves more. But maybe before that, we need to figure out what we actually like without asking ourselves first, what will everyone else think? Because when you spend too long seeing yourself through other people's eyes, something happens. Little by little, you stop hearing your own voice. All you hear is a judgment you imagine other people might have. I still do it sometimes. I want to say something, and for a second, I hesitate. Maybe that's stupid. And sometimes I just go, okay, whatever, and I say it. Maybe they won't like it. Maybe they will. But at least this time, I made the decision myself. Maybe having high self-esteem isn't about waking up one day and suddenly never caring what anyone thinks. We're human. Of course we care. But at some point, you have to learn the difference between these two. What do other people think about me? And what do I think about myself? Because if you always choose the first one day you might look in the mirror and realize you've been living a life that looks more like what everyone else wanted than what you actually wanted. Maybe you don't need to start by loving yourself more. Just today, choose one small thing that you genuinely like. An outfit, a song, an opinion, a decision, anything. And this time, before you ask, what will everyone else think? Ask yourself, what do I want? Maybe that tiny question is the first place where you find yourself again.